Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla. All right. Thank you. You are watching The Faith Factor, and I am your host, Faith. I did a live stream earlier, and in that live stream I did earlier, I pretty much addressed the whole defending your woman stance that a lot of people are harping on when it comes to Will Smith running up on that stage and slapping Chris Rock. So we did the whole defense thing. You guys know exactly where I stand on that. If you don't know where I stand on that, the video is still here. You can go and click on that video and you can hear my stance. Basically, I stated that I think he was wrong. Will Smith was absolutely not in the right in this situation, and he did more damage than he did good. So now I want to talk about something different. I'm going to bring a totally different perspective to this live stream that nobody has brought to any other stream. And you're hearing it here first on The Faith Factor. Now, the last stream that I did, I addressed briefly about Jada's hair condition. And I basically stated that it was not anything for anyone to be running up on a stage and slapping someone over. Alopecia is not a life-threatening illness. It is an autoimmune deficiency. Yes, it is. But people are being very, very disingenuous when they even call it an autoimmune condition. It's an autoimmune condition that does not attack your health in general. It's an autoimmune condition that attacks your aesthetic looks. It attacks the hair follicle. So it changes the way that you look. That is what Jada's autoimmune condition is doing to her. She's not like a cancer patient that is where their condition is attacking their body and they're literally fighting for their life. Jada is fighting for her hair. And I know that people are saying that, Faith, you're being insensitive. You're not taking into consideration that, women, we, especially as Black women, we really, really, really love our hair. And we have so many struggles with our hair. I understand that. I am a Black woman. I am a Black woman with natural hair. I am a Black woman who has permed her hair. I am a Black woman who has colored her hair. I am a Black woman who has worn weaves and still wear weaves. I am a Black woman who has natural hair. So I understand what everybody's talking about. And I've had some of the same struggles. And I talked about that briefly in the last video. So I'm not trying to downplay anybody's plight, because that has actually also been my plight. I have struggled as well with hair, but it's just hair. And what's more, Jada herself, right before the Oscars, stated this very same thing. She said the exact same thing. And I quote, Jada Pinkett says, "I don't give two craps what people think of this bald head." And she said it right before the Oscars. So, what has changed? What has actually changed? Hello, the Tomboy Chronicles. Nothing. So either Jada was pretending to be strong in her bald-headedness, or she's really hurting. Which one is it? Or could it be both? Because, Black women, we like to put ourselves in a position where we're never wrong. And I think it's really unfair and disingenuous to people who actually have real issues surrounding why they're losing their hair. Some people are losing their hair because they have to undergo chemo and radiation. They have lupus. My niece had sickle cell anemia. So the medications that she was on caused her not to be able to grow her hair. And in all of these situations that I'm describing, these people were fighting for their lives. They were not fighting for their hair follicles. There's a difference. That is all alopecia is. If you type in alopecia, it's specifically the alopecia that Jada Pickett has, it will tell you that it's an autoimmune condition that attacks the hair follicle, and that's it. It's not attacking your heart. It's not attacking your kidney. It's not attacking your neural system. It's just attacking your hair follicle. So it's more of a cosmetic medical condition than anything. So it affects you cosmetically in the way that you look. And yes, I do understand and I am sensitive to the fact that that can lower a woman's self-esteem. However, we have Jada Pinkett making statements as if she is bald and proud right before the Oscars. I'm Jada Pinkett and I am bald and proud. Now, in the People magazine article, I'm just going to read a little bit of it because this is what I stated in the last video. I'm going to point out some of the same stuff that I stated in the last video, and Jada is actually backing up my theory here. I told you I'm going to hypothesize a little bit about her situation. Now, I'll take her at face value when she says she has alopecia. But we do also know that you can bring that on by wearing the wigs too much, not tending to your scalp, perming too much, the burn. You can actually burn your scalp and it cause no hair to grow there. Too much chemical with the coloring. You can also have chemical damage and cause no hair to grow there. There's a lot of things that could bring that on. And it can also be autoimmune. But I'm going to read from Jada's own recounting of her own situation. Okay, because this was less than a week before the Sunday Oscars that she made this statement. I don't give two craps what anybody thinks about this bald head because I love it. What changed? Where was the love? When Chris Rock made a very light joke about your hair by calling you the next G.I. Jane. Where was the love? Why were you frowning? Why were you throwing a mini tantrum to yourself over there across from your husband if it's all good? And you're trying to show women how to be proud of themselves no matter what. You got all these hashtags. Hashtag I'm not my hair. But when you had the opportunity to display that, that's not what you displayed. It's despicable. And the hypocrisy is astounding. And I can't believe that Black women in particular are backing her up in her bullshit. And you can call me a mammy all you want. I know what my track record is here. And I call it down the middle for both. So you can kiss my ass with that. I have never, ever excused anybody in their hypocrisy, and I'm not going to do it now. Less than a week before the Oscars, this is what she's up here saying. And I'll read exactly what she says here. Here are the hashtags. Hashtag, this is what she captions in her video: Crown Act. Be proud of your crown. Hashtag, I am not my hair. Hashtag, hair journey. And she goes on to say, being a Black woman and dealing with hair in Hollywood, in the era I came up in, having your hair look as European as possible was always the thing. And that was really challenging, because I liked my hair out wild and curly. When? When, Jada? When did you like your hair out wild and curly? I've never seen your natural hair. Never. But she says this anyway on TikTok. Now, I do agree. The era that she came up in is the same era that I came up in. And I do agree with her saying that having your hair look as European as possible was always the thing. I said this in the other video. That is the reason why you have always seen Jada Pinkett either with her hair slicked down with that perm and all that hair coloring, or shaved off around the sides. You've always, always, always seen her like this. But these are her words. She says, but nobody wanted that. And she's referring to her allegedly wanting her wild curly side. So she conformed. She said, so I always had to do my hair in ways that didn't feel natural to me because I'm trying to play the game. So I'm doing a cover. Everybody's like, no, we want your hair straight and flowy. Like when it's like, all right, cool. She's like, all right, cool, but that's not really what my hair likes to do. So Jada Pinkett assimilated for years, putting that creamy crack on her scalp. Jada finishes by saying, so I had to learn to get the courage to go, nah, I'm not going to do that, which is why I feel the freedom today. I don't give two craps what people think about this bald head of mine, because guess what? I love it. This is 1 week before the Oscars, y'all. What happened? What happened to that strength? So the article goes on into more detail. In 2018, the mom of two opened up about her issues with hair loss during an episode of her show Red Table Talk, explaining it was terrifying when it first started. I was in the shower one day and I had handfuls of hair in my hands and I was just like, oh my God, am I going bald? It was one of those times in my life where I was literally shaking in fear. That's why I cut my hair and why I continue to cut it. Now, I'm quite sure that those handfuls of hair that she had in her hand in the shower were probably straight hairs from all the perming and coloring that she was doing as well. But we gonna say it's alopecia. And we can't confirm or deny it. So I'm going to take her at her word that it was the alopecia and not the perming and the coloring. The years and years of perming and coloring. And she's in her 50s. I'm not going to, say that. I'm not going to deny it because that could be it. Because like I said, the perming will dry out and thin your hair. That's the reason why I stopped perming, because it was drying out and thinning my hair. I said that in the other video. She is confirming a lot of what I'm saying, by the way. A lot of what I've been saying. But I'll go on to read. So she goes, Now, at this point, I can only laugh, she said in an Instagram video in December 2021, as she ran her finger across a bald line patch on her scalp. Y'all know I've been struggling with alopecia, and just all of a sudden one day, look at this line right here. Look at it. She continued, so it just showed up like that, and this is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to hide. So I thought I'd just share it so that you all are not asking any questions. Because now, Jada, she can't keep slicking that perm on her hair and rocking them thin finger waves like she had been. And I had been looking at and noticing the thinning of Jada Pickett's hair over the years. And I have been looking at and noticing that she still had it slicked down with that damn perm. She never stopped perming. But yeah, we gonna say it was the alopecia though. And it probably was a combination of alopecia, perming, and coloring. Now, does that give Will Smith the right to run up on stage because of a joke made at the expense of his wife, who is clearly rocking a fade? Well, not a fade, but a bald head. No, it doesn't. It never does, especially when we're talking about somebody that is a comedian. He was not just singling out Jada. Everybody was getting roasted that day, including Will Smith and Jada, and they are not exempt from roasting. Now, Jada sat there and she rolled her eyes while the audience laughed. And because Jada sat there, not able to take a joke, not able to just roll with it, Will was ready to just roll with it until he looked at her. And now, once again, what Will did in the next moment is not Jada's fault, by the way, because again, she didn't twist his arm. She didn't make him do that. He did that all on his own. Now, I understand that Will Smith, Chris Rock, and Jada Pinkett had a very, very long friendship that went all the way back to Will Smith's Fresh Prince of Bel-Air days. So they were all friends. You could go and Google it right now, because I did it earlier. You can go all the way back to where Will Smith and Chris Rock showed up on his hit TV sitcom Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and they were acting side by side. Chris Rock and Jada Pinkett had roles side by side each other. Their children were friends. They were seen many, many different places together, many, many different events together. They were friends. So maybe, and this is something else that a lot of other content creators are not touching on, but maybe Chris Rock thought that he was bantering with friends because they had such a long history with one another. Maybe Chris Rock thought it was okay because he was bantering with friends. And I could see that. Now, there was an incident back in 2016. Chris Rock, this is not the first time that Chris Rock was hosting the Oscars. Chris Rock hosted the Oscars also back in 2016. And during this time, Jada Pinkett Smith, along with a lot of other actors, they wanted to boycott the Oscars because they felt that there was not enough Black representation at the Oscars during the time. So a lot of Black actors and entertainers were boycotting, and Jada Pinkett was one of them. And Chris Rock was emceeing at the time, and he made another joke at that time about Jada boycotting the Oscars. He said, and I quote, "Jada boycotting the Oscars is like me boycotting Rihanna's panties because I wasn't invited." He made a joke back then about Jada boycotting the Oscars. So this isn't the first time that Chris Rock had joked about Jada or Will Smith. And right after that, they were seen hanging out with each other. They were friends. What changed? What exactly changed? Jada's alopecia? Jada had been rocking her hair cut low and short for years, by the way. Hell, there isn't much difference between her baldness now and the low haircut she had been wearing. But I see people want to still justify the violence. You got divestors. You got divestors sitting up here big upping a Black man for the first time in YouTube history. I've never seen so many Black women and Black women divestors big upping a Black man, but the only reason they're doing it is because they feel as if they did his bidding. That's the only reason. And they're very disingenuous in this moment right now. Every time I see them, they're being very disingenuous in this moment. Because any other time, Black men ain't shit, no matter what they accomplish. Any other time. But one Black man pulls a bonehead move on another Black man, and all of a sudden he's Superman to the divestment community and all the Black women that agree with this shit. That we throw all common sense and decorum out the window as far as how we're supposed to conduct ourselves as human beings. Violence is never, ever, ever a viable solution. Not ever. Especially when Chris Rock is a paid comedian. Will Smith also is paid to entertain and be funny at times. So he also knows the game. And I want to also point out that when I stated to everybody, look, Will Smith has a lot to lose in this situation because this is the first time he has ever won an Oscar. Do you guys understand that an Oscar is the highest thing that an actor can achieve? And Will Smith had been waiting a long time. And he finally got there. And the whole thing was ruined because he's emotional and he's being led by an overly emotional, narcissistic woman. Yeah, I said it. I'm going to keep saying it. So he ready to risk it all because Jada can't grow any hair. Exactly. The Tomboy Chronicle says he will definitely have to pay for this mistake. They are going to bend him in a special way. Oh, yeah, they definitely are. Now, a friend of mine, he goes by the name of K now. And he's no longer on YouTube, but we were talking just the other day, and he was saying that, yeah, he's gonna have to pay. If Will wants to keep his Oscar, he's gonna have to do something. Maybe, maybe they'll ask him, the Jews will ask him to wear a dress. Hey, if you want to keep that Oscar, you're gonna have to wear a dress. Hey, if you're gonna keep that Oscar, you're gonna have to kiss a man again. Because he did it the first time. You're gonna have to do it again. They're going to humiliate him in some way. He's not gonna get out of this scot-free if he wants to keep that Oscar. Or worst case scenario, they won't let him keep that Oscar. He will have to give it back. And then they will move to cancel his ass. But it's so interesting how I'm sitting up here listening to the divestors and a lot of Black women that follow the divestors. I'm listening to them say, Will Smith has power. Oh, y'all acting as if the man doesn't have any power. What's up, Amanike Mama Max? This is what they said. The divestors are sitting up here saying, y'all act as if Will Smith doesn't have any power. And this is so funny to me. You want to know why it's funny to hear divestors talking about Black men having power? Because if you run through any of their videos, even the ones that are on the fence about being divestors, they're just kind of somewhat divested. If you go to their channels and listen to their videos, all you ever hear, Black men don't build nothing. And this is true. Black men don't own nothing. And this is true. Black men ain't got no power. They're conquered. This is what we have been hearing for about the last 5-6 years? How conquered the Black man is and how powerless he is. And then all of a sudden, overnight, Will Smith hits another Black man on national TV. And these heifers is online talking about Will Smith got power. And that nobody can touch him. He got millions. And he may even have billions. And nobody can touch him. This is what they're saying. Now, at this late date, about one Black man, all of a sudden, because they view him as doing his bidding, they view him as protecting his wife, who is suffering from a version of female male pattern baldness called alopecia. That is strictly a cosmetic medical condition. I'm just going to put it all in perspective here, what we're talking about. He defended his 50-something-year-old wife's hurt feelings about her hair, yet she was just online on Instagram 1 week before the Oscars talking about she could care 2 cents. She can give 2 damns what people think about her bald head because she loves it. Where was the self-love during the Oscars then? Why did that joke get to you that bad? And it was such a lame and mild joke, by the way. It's the type of joke that a friend would say about their friend, because they really don't want to go in hard on them. That was extremely mild of a joke. And so your friend of many, many years who's up on the stage trying to do his job because he got a paycheck that he's trying to get to. Your friend, you hobble your ass up on that stage, and he knows Chris Rock. They are friends. He knows that his friend is not going to hit him back. If I was Chris Rock, I would cancel their ass in my life. With friends like them, who needs enemies? And in that moment, you didn't give a damn about Chris Rock, his reputation, his job that he was trying to do. Now, for all of you sitting up here talking about Will Smith standing on a principle. Oh, he was protecting his wife. I love a man that stands on his principle. Welp, let's talk about that principle real fast. Because Will Smith turned around and shit all over the principle that you're saying that he stood on when he apologized directly to Chris Rock. He issued a statement. Y'all want to hear it? Would you like for me to read the statement? Will Smith issued a statement saying violence in all its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are part of the job. Ain't that what I've been saying? But a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. Now, that was his justification. He said, I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. Trying to get to the next bullet point here. Sorry about that. Instagram is not letting me rock here. Okay, I can only read so much of that. So you get the gist of it. So for all of you that sat here and said, oh, Will Smith did not issue Chris Rock a direct apology. Yes, he did. Oh, no, I can read it here. The last paragraph reads, he says, and I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress. Sincerely, Will. So he issued that statement apologizing for everything that he did. So that means that if he's apologizing for it, he's not standing on that principle, and he has, in fact, taken that back. Monique says, nah, that was public relations statement. He didn't write that. Hey, we can say that public relations wrote it. He had to sign off on it. Either way, he didn't stand on no principles if he signed off on that. Now, Will Smith's mother also came out and she made some statements herself. She stands by her son, but she opened up in an interview on ABC 6 News, and she insisted that her son's actions were completely out of character. Now, this is the mamas that raise the little pookies, and every time you turn around, they badass kid doing something. Because we know how the story go. I got in one little fight. My mom got scared. She said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle to Bel Air." They put a little different twist on it, though. She said, "You shouldn't slap Chris Rock because your wife has no hair." So Will Smith's mom says that he is a very even people person, and that's the first time I've ever seen him go off. The first time in his lifetime, she says. And she added, "I never seen him do that." Liar. She knows she lying. But you know, that's what mamas are gonna do for their sons. They're gonna lie for them even when they're wrong. Your son has a history of slapping folks, putting his hands on people. And for all of you sitting up here talking about, oh, Will Smith got power. What power do Will Smith have if these motherfuckers decide not to give him a job? Does Will Smith own any studios where he can create and master something? Does Will Smith own any major television stations? Because see, the people that actually are in power are the people of the establishment. And if they want to touch you, trust and believe you can get touched. Ask Bill Cosby. Ask Bill Cosby. Ask that Weinstein guy. And what's that other guy? The dude with the Kitty Island. Ask him. Oops, you can't. He's not here anymore. The establishment picks the winners and losers. So all of y'all sitting up here running around here acting like Will can't be touched. Acting like they can't make him put a dress on to keep that Grammy. Acting like they can't Me Too his behind. And that's the other thing. Will Smith has a history of just going around smacking folks. He has a history. So now if the establishment wanted to collect some folks to come out and say, "Me too," and if they wanted to get Chris Rock to press charges against Will Smith, or else your ass is grass too, guess what? Guess who's going down? Guess who's going to get Me Too'd Will Smith style? Guess how many people going to come out the woodwork? Oh, Chris, did you get slapped by Will Smith? Me too. Me too. I got slapped too. They will go and gather their people like they did with Bill Cosby. They gathered all the hoes and all the bitches and all the alcoholic, drug addict hoes they could find. And Me Too the hell out of Bill Cosby. And what millions he had, they extricated it. They extricated it from him through litigations. And whatever little power poor little Bill had is gone. So all of y'all talking about this power allegedly that Will Smith has. Watch they make an example of him if he don't play nice. Hmm? Y'all act like y'all ain't never seen this before. Same script, different cast. But now the divestors and the black women that follow the divestors, they're big upping this man. And this is an example of how some women will goad a man on to do some shit that's going to be a detriment to him because of their bruised egos. And there's a lot of black women out here that are so starving to see an example of a black man protecting a black woman that they're not seeing that this right here, the way that Will went about doing it, that was not protection. Especially when his wife wasn't in danger and she was not being disrespected. Let's just all put this into perspective. Chris Rock is their friend. They had been hanging and kicking it together a long time. And they humiliated their friend on national TV. Why? See, everybody's so quick to ask if Will is okay. I think Will knew exactly what the fuck he was doing. But I bet Chris Rock is sitting up here looking like, damn, I thought we was homies. Will Smith, in his statement, stated that jokes at my expense is part of the job. He already knew that. And Jada is not exempt from that. That is part of the job. And the joke was not even a joke of the caliber of what you all are trying to make it out to be, because you all have your individual agendas. I see a whole bunch of people running around here with individual agendas trying to make this into something that it really is not. And is disgusting. Black people stay losing collectively because we lack decorum. We stay losing because we are emotional in all our actions and all our decisions. We stay losing because we're forever playing checkers, but we're never ever moving on to the game of chess. And it is the collective thinking of the Black community that holds those of us who are elite and have the opportunity to make it somewhere and pull the rest up back. Because we will goad our people who have the opportunity to actually make a wise imprint. We will hold them back by giving them some of the most foolish advice. Incrimature says, I wonder would Smith had slapped Corey Holcomb or TK Kirkland for the same thing. I think not. Exactly. I don't think he would have either. But he will go run up there and smack his friend that he had been knowing for many, many decades. A friend who he had made so much money with. A friend who had in the past made jokes about them. And then they were seen hanging out with each other right afterwards. So what changed all of a sudden? Nobody is coming at it from this angle because the agendas are at work. Well, I can't look at it from that angle because it doesn't go with my agenda. Fuck y'all's agendas. Right is right, wrong is wrong. Driver's seat says Jada comes off as a know-it-all pseudo-spiritualist. Furthermore, Jada and her mama have some sort of control over Will. I can believe it. You know, just in looking at that situation at the Oscars, Will was laughing it off, and then until he looked at his wife. And then all of a sudden, the hypnosis, whatever trance that she has him in, kicked in. I want to know what hypnosis technique Jada uses, where she doesn't even have to say alakazam. She can just give him a look. That's some powerful hypnosis. Amaniki Mama Max said Will was laughing but assaulted his friend to please Jada. That's it in a nutshell. That's it in a nutshell. That's pretty much that explains it. But guys, I sat here and I talked about protection in the last video. And in this video, I just want you all to understand that there was nothing to protect. That Jada herself says that she is bald and proud. So before I get off of here, because I'm not going to stay on here long. I try to keep my videos a little under an hour, but before I go, I'm going to share the actual video of Jada explaining her plight without alopecia and how she is bald and proud. And I want you guys to tell me if Will was still justified when his wife is saying this just before the Oscars. Y'all let me know.
Now, at this point, I can only laugh. Now, y'all know I've been struggling with alopecia, and just all of a sudden, one day, look at this line right here. Look at that. Look at that. And so it just showed up like that. Now, this is going to be a little bit more difficult for me to hide. So I thought I'd just share it so y'all not asking any questions. But you know, Mama's going to put some rhinestones in there. And I'm just going to make me a little crown. That's what Mama's going to do.
That was the one video, and there was another one. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. Had it earlier. That's not the one that I was actually looking for. Okay, I think this is it right here.
I've had some definite hair regrets on shows, specifically on covers. What the hell?
Being a black woman and dealing with hair in Hollywood, especially in the era that I came up in, having your hair look as European as possible was always the thing. And that was really challenging, you know, because I liked my hair out wild and curly, but nobody wanted that. So I always had to do my hair in ways that didn't feel natural to me because I was trying to play the game. So if I'm doing a cover, everybody, no, we want your hair straight and flowy. And it's like, all right, cool, but that's not really like what my hair likes to do. So I had to learn to get the courage to just go, nah, I'm not doing that. which is why I feel the freedom today. I don't give two craps what people feel about this bald head of mine. Because guess what? I love it.
So y'all heard it straight from the horse's mouth. I don't give two craps what anybody feels about this bald head of mine because guess what? I love it. What's up, D. Darrell? So if she's loving it 1 week before the Oscars, what happened? Can anybody tell me what happened? Why all of a sudden is it not okay for your friend who had been, making jokes about y'all and y'all was seen hanging out with each other later and it was all good, but now all of a sudden this one time it wasn't cool? What happened to the self-love? What happened to the hashtag I am not my hair? Huh, Jada? What happened to hashtag hair journey? Hashtag be proud of your crown. You wasn't showing no pride at the Oscars. And I said to my friend the other day, and I'm going to close it out. I said to my friend the other day, usually when women are rocking the bald look, usually when women are rocking that bald look, it is a statement of pride. When women rock that bald look, because I'm sorry, Tiffany Haddish rocked the bald look. Usually when women rock that bald look, it is a statement of pride. It is a statement of I am not my hair. I am beautiful regardless. Regardless to what anybody says. You can joke, you can poke fun at me, you can do whatever. And I am strong and comfortable in the skin that I'm in. That's usually what that means. Tiffany Haddish, she shaved her hair off, and that was her statement. And I forget that other lady that dated Kanye, the white woman that everybody wants to say is black. She was rocking the baldy look too. And usually that's a statement of strength and pride. Where was the strength and pride at the Oscars, Jada? I thought you were bald and proud. Say it loud. I'm bald and I'm proud. What happened? But now black women everywhere want to take the medical condition alopecia and y'all want to make it as serious as lupus, as cancer, as sickle cell. Those medical conditions are life threatening. Jada has an autoimmune condition that attacks her hair follicles, not her life. Can we just put that in perspective, black women? Because see, we sitting up here, we're talking about loving the skin that we're in, loving ourselves regardless, and we're the most sensitive about our hair. And it's embarrassing at this point. There are also other races of women that also get alopecia. Did you know that? And yeah, while it's devastating to them too as women, they'll talk about how they dislike losing their hair. But they also make jokes about it. I have seen documentaries with these women laughing about their bald heads and joking about it. They're not sensitive about not having no hair like we are. Some of us even got hair, but it's not as long as we want it to be. And we sensitive about that too. And I know that Black men have aided in putting a stigma on us when it comes to that. Because you got your Tommy Sotomayor's out here running around, and he's calling you bald-headed, hair-hatted hooligans. Now, Chris Rock did not call Jada no bald-head, hair-hatted hooligan. He made a G.I. Jane joke, and it was pretty lame, by the way. It wasn't even funny. It was the most lamest, mildest joke that a friend would make towards another friend while he's hosting at an event and it's part of his job. And Will Smith has got to be the worst friend anybody could ever have, because he embarrassed his friend Chris Rock up on that stage, another Black man, while he was doing his job. Narcissistic asshole that he is. Both of these Black men could have been great that night. You had Chris Rock, a Black man, hosting the Oscars. And for the first time in history, I just found this out. The Oscars had an all Black cast of people who was actually the people that organized it. So while Will and Jada were boycotting the Oscars and complaining about the lack of Black representation, there was a lot of Black representation at this Oscars. And Will Smith took the opportunity to shit all over that and act a goddamn fool. Embarrassed his friend. And if his wife wasn't already embarrassed, she's even more embarrassed now. And he made a goddamn ass of himself and ruined his reputation and probably his career. And they might take the Oscar too. The same Oscar he had been waiting for years and years to get. And all you women, the ones that sit up here and you all are pumping him up for this, all of y'all sitting up here saying, yeah, he protected a Black woman. You all are narcissistic and selfish in your thinking, because you're not looking at the big picture. And any man that gets with you will never, ever, ever thrive. Yeah, I said it. Women that think like you, your men are not going to thrive, because you will have him set up for the okie doke every time. You'll be the ones out there starting fights with people because you're in your feelings, and then you'll go get your son and have him shot and killed. Because somebody told a mama joke. Yeah, that's y'all. Y'all the ones that'll do that. Your son could be a straight A student getting ready to go off to Harvard, and you gonna pull him into some bullshit and stunt his damn growth before it even gets started. Y'all the ones. It's called hood logic. And it's hood logic that's been holding us back for many, many years. And it's time that we break free of the hood logic. Will Smith built his career, and he is a man that his wife Jada Pinkett have every right to be proud of. Will Smith had nothing to prove in that moment. Jada should have been there to support her husband, because he was about to finally be acknowledged for all of his hard work. That's what she was supposed to be there for. And Will Smith was supposed to He was supposed to support his friend that was on that stage doing his job, because that's the line of work that they are in. Will Smith failed at leadership as a friend. He failed at leadership as a husband, and he ultimately failed himself. And no amount of hood logic is going to explain that away. All right, guys, I'm done. Stick a fork in me. With that, I've got to say, peace. I'm out of here.